Unlike HVAC or plumbing, where the schedule is heavily dictated by middle-of-the-night emergencies, electrical contracting operates on a different rhythm. The bulk of your revenue comes from scheduled, high-ticket projects, panel upgrades, whole-house rewires, and commercial build-outs. This visualization shows the bid bottleneck. Because electrical upgrades are deliberate decisions, they require consistent follow-up, yet a massive volume of quotes drop out here. The decay is fast. Estimates sent Tuesday are abandoned by Friday without an active nudge. Without dedicated administrative support, you rarely have the time to make those follow-up calls yourself. You are actively managing field crews, troubleshooting complex technical issues, and getting to the next estimate. Protecting your margins means you must close the gap between the initial quote and the final signature. Generating new leads is useless if your estimates are quietly falling through the cracks. The standard fix is to hire a dedicated sales assistant or an estimator's assistant whose sole job is to chase down unsigned quotes. That human solution typically costs between $3,200 and $4,000 a month in direct payroll, and that is before you factor in the overhead, benefits, and the time it takes to train them on your specific services. The modern alternative replaces that specific, repetitive administrative loop with a localized AI agent configured specifically for home service businesses. Rather than relying on a cloud software subscription, this approach uses dedicated local hardware, like the askingAi mini PC, that sits in your office and interfaces securely with your existing CRM to handle the outreach. The financial proposition for this hardware setup is a $499 upfront cost for the device, followed by a flat $100 monthly support tier. The question is whether a $100 per month box sitting in the corner of your office can execute the nuance of a $4,000 per month human, especially when you are dealing with high-ticket clients. Let's look at a tangible scenario. A customer received a $4,800 service upgrade quote last week, but the booking deposit remains unpaid. Detecting an unsigned quote, the AI triggers an outbound SMS to offer deposit assistance. The customer objects, citing budget delays. The AI pivots, offering phased billing or a financing call. When the customer agrees, the AI automatically schedules the call and syncs your calendar. There is a trade-off here. The system operates strictly within its pre-trained service parameters. It does not possess organic empathy, and it cannot dynamically small-talk a customer like a seasoned human salesperson. But it compensates for that lack of warmth with absolute, systematic persistence. Every single quote is followed up on time, completely preventing a warm lead from going cold. To achieve that level of persistence, the underlying technology matters. You have to look at the difference between this dedicated hardware and the generic web chatbots you see all over the internet. Cloud-based web bots are almost entirely passive. They are trained for basic consumer support, and they only activate when someone lands on your website and clicks the little chat ball in the corner. You cannot close a $15,000 commercial bid by waiting for a client to click a chat icon.
High-ticket B2B and residential negotiations require an active outbound approach to nudge the decision-maker. Running the agent locally ensures your outbound campaigns execute reliably. You are immune to the cloud API interruptions or web traffic spikes that frequently cause third-party follow-up cadences to stall out. The required compromise is that you are introducing a slight hardware dependency. You have to keep a physical mini PC powered on and connected to your office network. For most contractors, maintaining local hardware is a minor burden compared to the guarantee of predictable, always-on outbound execution for their biggest bids. The friction in electrical contracting goes well beyond the initial sale. Coordinating the site visits and managing municipal permits consumes hours of administrative time. This map interface displays how the AI handles the routing. When a prospect calls in, it cross-references your technician's current locations in real time, proposing geographically optimized scheduling windows to minimize wasted travel. It also acts proactively. Before the technician arrives, the AI automatically texts the homeowner to request photos of their current electrical panel, ensuring your crew arrives prepared for the specific technical reality of the site. On the administrative side, it actively monitors municipal portals. The moment a permit is approved, it logs the update, alerts your project manager, and texts the customer to schedule the rough-in inspection. This capability demands absolute data hygiene from your end. If your schedule is messy and unmaintained, the AI will use that bad data to confidently misroute technicians and double-book your crew. It drastically speeds up your logistical planning, but it forces you to keep your software habits clean to unlock that speed.
Let's calculate the true monthly financial return on this setup. Comparing cost against effort, human admin is a heavy, fixed expense in the high-cost quadrant. The local AI agent provides the same low-effort automation, but shifts into the low-cost quadrant on a flat $100 tier, returning $3,000 to the bottom line. By reclaiming that capital and removing the rote follow-up tasks, your human estimators are freed to focus entirely on estimating complex jobs, managing field crews, and building actual relationships with clients. That $3,000 in monthly savings is not a theoretical marketing calculation. You are literally deleting a specific administrative payroll line item from your ledger. So who exactly needs to deploy this hardware? The ideal candidates are small to mid-sized contractors whose revenue is driven heavily by residential upgrades or light commercial bid work. If your schedule is full of site visits and panel inspections, you are the specific business bleeding revenue right now, simply because you lack the dedicated staff to follow up on your paperwork. Conversely, if you operate a massive, highly bespoke B2B industrial operation, or if you run a purely emergency dispatch plumbing service, the bid bottleneck is not your primary problem, and this particular workflow will not serve you. But for electrical contractors actively battling the follow-up gap, trading human empathy for relentless, low-cost AI persistence is the most profitable administrative decision you can make.